We're getting our hands dirty. We're making gnocchi from scratch. We're gonna make a duck ragu that's gonna go with it. I'm super excited, super stoked to show you the step-by-step on how this amazing recipe will fall into play. We're gonna get the water boiling for our potatoes. What you really want for gnocchi are white potatoes. High starch level, they'll mix great with a 00 flour. I like to peel them before, cook those potatoes, because then I take them straight out of the water while they're still hot, and I'll chop them with flour, and then we're gonna make our dough like that. And we want about 2 pounds of potatoes to about 1.5 cups of flour. The potatoes are in the water, ready to go. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll start on our sauce. A bit of olive oil. We're gonna salt these and pepper these, and we're gonna sear them off. We really wanna have a nice sear on the skin. Salt, pepper. We're gonna sear this for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna remove it, and then we're gonna start cutting our sofrito and build the ragu from there. Like any beautiful, delicious ragu, it starts with a sofrito. So the sofrito, carrot, celery, onion. We're gonna have a bit of garlic, some white wine, some tomato, some chicken stock. We're gonna bring that all up to a boil, and then we're gonna put our beautifully seared duck legs in there, and we're gonna let that go for an hour and a half, until the meat falls off the bone, and then the ragu just comes together. It's gonna be delicious. So they don't need to be the perfect brunoise, okay? Because you're making a sauce and you're not highlighting the cut in like a soup or whatnot. But just make sure that the carrot, the celery, and the onion are all the same size. The sofrito's ready to hit the pan. We're gonna remove our duck legs. We're gonna remove a bit of that oil, and then we're gonna fry this up, and then we're gonna make that ragu, and then reintroduce the duck legs. So look at that, all right? We have exactly that little color that we want. We have all this fat, get rid of most of it. Light this back up. Just a bit of that olive oil as well. Little potato check with the fork. You're looking at about 20 to 25 minutes in boiling water. Don't be afraid to add a bit of olive oil. That's the smell for me. That's the smell of childhood. This is gonna take about like 5 to 6 minutes. Once we start seeing a bit of a color change, or once we start seeing that the vegetables are kind of breaking down into like this beautiful compote, that's when we introduce the garlic. Sofrito's in the pot, garlic's in the pot, it's ready to deglaze. We're ready to unstick all those beautiful natural sugars that are stuck to the pot. We are gonna deglaze with some white wine. You could use red wine in this recipe. I like the acidity of white wine. And we're gonna open up this bottle with the Cuisinart EvolutionX Cordless Bottle Opener. Pop it in. And let it do its thing. And you have your own little cork that you can pump and get all the oxygen out. Perfect little tool, love it. Let's deglaze. Okay, we're gonna stop the process, reintroduce the duck, look at that. We'll let that go for a bit. And you see the wine's almost completely evaporated at this point. We'll add the tomato. I kind of pour in about 250 mLs of chicken stock. Put that in, and now you can smell it. The tomatoes, the onion, the white wine, the duck's in there. We could close this up, a nice low simmer. Let's let that go for about an hour and a half. You know they're ready when you're not even applying any pressure and they're almost breaking. A nice starchiness. And like I said, 2 pounds of potatoes for 1.5 cups of flour, that's the mix. Those are Roman style gnocchi. We'll kind of lightly mash the potatoes here. Kind of rice them, you know, just so they're all like, they're all the same size for when we make the dough. It's gonna be a lot easier. We're just gonna form a nice ball of dough. And kind of just bring that all together, you know? Get the flour, you know, mix in the flour with the potato. Then at this point, you know, the flour kind of soothes the heat of the potato, you know? So it's still hot, but you'll be able to manage. Get those hands dirty, put that to the side, and kind of, at this point now, bring in all the dough together. If you find it too sticky, you add just a bit of flour, and that's it right here. We're gonna clean our station, and then we're gonna come back, we're gonna cut, we're gonna roll, and we're gonna make soft, pillowy, beautiful gnocchi. My gnocchi dough is ready. It's been chilling for about 15 minutes. It's just kind of just doing its thing and relaxing, and that's exactly what we want. It's nice and soft, it's beautiful. We cleaned our station. You'll need a baking sheet. We'll get some flour on there, and you know what we'll do first? We're gonna put some water to boil, so like that when we are done rolling our gnocchi, our water's boiling, there's no waiting around, it's all about timing. So let's get that water going. Lightly dust the board. Okay. Add a bit of flour to the dough. And that's the key. You get to decide what size you want. And I think for a duck ragu or any type of ragu that has meat, you need a gnocchi that's gonna hold up to that sauce. So you need something that's kind of big and not too small. And then at this point, you're just cutting them and you're pushing them away. Gorgeous gnocchi, hand rolled. You've made this from scratch. There's only one more step. What we need to do is to get that sauce perfectly ready so they could hit those beautiful soft pillows of gnocchi. Oh, there you have it. Look at the ragu. That's perfectly cooked. You really want to get the meat off the bone completely. That's perfect. And you leave that chunky because a ragu needs to be chunky, you know? That's beautiful. That like whole casareccia vibe of that homey nonna feel is exactly what you want, especially when you're making gnocchi. Kind of get it off the bone, reintroduce it into the sauce, heat it up again. This is where you check for seasoning. Do we need a bit of salt? Do we need a bit of pepper? Place this on the back. We get a pan so we could saute our gnocchi and everything's gonna come together. Gnocchi are fragile. You don't want to ruin their shape. You're gonna put them in little by little, okay? Little by little, kind of just getting them in there, okay? Making sure that they don't stick to the bottom. How do you know when the gnocchi are ready? Easy, they'll just start floating to the top, and then you'll give them another 2 minutes of cooking time, and then they'll be good to go. Basil, little salt, little pepper. All right, now that's been 2 minutes. Kind of take them out of the water and put them into the sauce. Want to saute them. Bit of cheese. Bring that all together. Done. Let's plate the gnocchi. Look at that beautiful gnocchi, those chunks of shredded duck. Look at these soft pillows. You would think you're in Rome right now. And there you have it, gnocchi with duck ragu, like they say in Italy. Que meraviglia.